Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode. In the last episode we picked up our starter Pokemon, Bulbasaur, called Floret, and in this episode we're going to be getting the first few members of our team for the Nuzlocke challenge. Unfortunately this Pokemon here I couldn't catch because previously we already ran into a Rattata on Route 1, so pretty sure I just knocked it off for experience. So what I basically need to do is, starting from here, I need to see which Pokemon I get and start to plan out how I'm going to use them going forward, whether that be like in a general sense against trainers that I encounter, or more so for the gym leaders, and finally of course for the Elite Four, which in particular will be hard to plan for. That'll be something I'll have to do later on, but I've already started thinking about the gym leaders. And you'll see with the Pokemon I catch, I'll discuss, what function they'll have in regards to that. So it's good to buy some Pokeballs. I grabbed 6, and also thought while I was here, because I'll be heading into Viridian Forest soon, to grab some antidotes, which are a lot more important in Nuzlocke challenges, especially early on when Pokemon don't have much health, because I'm sure you've experienced it yourself, but you get poisoned by a Weedle and you're trying to get back to Viridian City, and they die on the way there. So they're extra important because if they do faint by poison, that's still considered a death. So you have to be really careful with that. So anyway, I headed out over to Route 22, which a lot of people always forget is this little tiny bit that you can access here. It's an extra route. And we ran into a Nidoran female. Now at first I didn't know whether to be happy about this. But when I thought about it, first of all, Nidoran females are quite rare here, so to run into one right off the bat was pretty cool. And indeed, having a Nido Queen, obviously there's the Moonstone that we can get rather soon, for those of you who are familiar with this game, which will evolve Nidoran females evolve form Nidorina into Nido Queen. Will be very useful because that's a dual type that has not only the poison that the previous two has, but also ground. And that really excited me because not only do I have Bulbasaur now set up for the first gym, the Brock with Rock, Misty with the water, but now I have someone who can potentially use the ground against Surge at the Vermilion gym, which is electric types. Of course, it's not really that much of a big deal because he's actually one of the easiest ones to do in a Nuzlocke, because you can just go to Diglett Tunnel, which is just, to the right of Vermilion City, and you go in there, and that's considered a new area, so you can get at least a Diglett, potentially a Dugtrio, who can pretty much wipe the floor with Surge, so provided it knows a decent attacking move. But it's ground, so most of the all the electric attacks won't harm them. I can't quite remember if in this one, I think Surge's Raichu has Mega Punch, I think. So that's the only thing you have to worry about, because that can be quite devastating. But apart from that, I'm pretty sure the entire gym just uses basic electric type attacks. Now, there's something I forgot earlier, which I'm just going to go grab now. Remember how much I said potions are important in the last episode? There's an extra one here. So they're what I like to call the 3 early potions. They're the 3 potions you can get before you can buy potions. The one that's in your PC, the one that's given to you by the Pokemon representative down on Route 1, and that one there, which is hidden. Because you can't actually buy any until you get to Pewter, which can be quite daunting. Anyway, we got to Route 2 here, which I had to double check was actually Route 2, because I wasn't sure. So that means we can get another Pokemon. And what was it? It was a Rattata. Now, I think from memory there's only 3 Pokemon you can get on this route. Possibly 4. You can get Rattata and Pidgeys. And I think, depending on your version, you can either get a Weedle or a Caterpie. I'm not entirely sure about that. But I've definitely seen Weedles on this route before, but I'm not sure what version that was. So it doesn't really matter. So with that in mind, I think getting a Rattata was probably the best. Because I'm not a big fan of Pidgey. I've always liked Spearow and Fearow. That line to me is far superior. And even Doduo and Dodrio, they're a lot cooler. Not that there's anything wrong with Pidgeot, but just, I don't know, not a fan of the moveset. So anyway, getting a Rattata was pretty cool. I do like Raticate. And I decided to call him Splinter, which is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reference. I thought that was kind of cool. A bit lame, but whatever. And going back on that, I didn't comment on what I named the Nidoran. I named the Nidoran Ivy, because I was really strapped for names when I was trying to name her. And the first thing I thought of when I thought of Poison was Poison Ivy from Batman, so I was like, that'll do. That's fine. And now we get to Viridian Forest, so another Pokemon to get. And it was a Caterpie. Now, I was actually kind of hoping I'd get a Caterpie because Butterfree is really useful, especially in a Nuzlocke challenge, because you can set up, you can get either, you know, the powders, you can go double powder, get Confusion in there, maybe Whirlwind if you're, you know, low on health and lots of wild Pokemon keep popping up. So I was quite happy with that. Especially for Sleep Powder, because Sleep Powder I think will be very useful. Particularly just against normal trainers if I'm in a bit of a pickle. I don't think it'll help that much against gym leaders because they're probably going to have full restores, full heals, awakenings and the like. But, you know what, I was happy. I thought that I got a pretty good start with these four. I opted to name this Caterpie Evelyn. I don't know why, it just sounded like a nice name. And it was funny because after I did this, I actually had a dream. This is really lame, but I had a dream that I like invaded a school in the 1600s and I had a Butterfree called Evelyn, and she tried to use Sleep Powder on these like wigged teachers, and it failed. So they like tied me up and made me solve riddles, and it was a really crazy dream. I have some pretty messed up dreams. But it was kind of fun as well. So, now that I've got all those Pokemon, I think I was kind of debating what to do, whether if I'd go back to Viridian City and just grind a little, or, you know, push on. And I decided, because I really don't want to, like, intentionally grind. Like, like I said, if a wild Pokemon pops up, I'm going to fight it because the experience is so valuable, but I don't want to intentionally do it if I can avoid it. I might have to do a little bit before Brock, just to get Floret up to the level that Bulbasaur learns Vine Whip, which I think is level 12, but I'm not entirely sure. It's around there anyway. Hopefully it's not that high. 10 would be better, but I'm pretty sure it's 12. So I decided to go and just avoid as many trainers as I could, and just try and... Oh no, wait. No. Not yet, I do that later. My bad. I think I go back to Viridian City and just heal up, because I've decided I'm going to just do a push through Viridian Forest and try to get to the other side. Now, there's a reason for that. The reason for that is the mart in Pewter City actually has potions for sale. So that means if I'm getting completely wrecked with my lower level Pokemon against some of the trainers in Viridian Forest, I'll have some potions on standby. So yeah, in the next episode, now that we've acquired a team, as I said, we'll basically be going kind of stealthy through Viridian Forest, I suppose, rather than just gun-ho killing everything. I'm pretty sure my main objective is to try and just get to the final trainer who has that Weedle and beat him, and then get to Pewter City and avoid all the other trainers if possible. So that'll be my goal, because if we do that, I can come back with potions and try and raise up the other Pokemon to decent levels. So anyway, that's it for today, and I'm sorry about how long it took to upload this one. I've been a little busy, but hopefully I'll get the next ones out pretty soon. Thanks guys, see you next time.